Hey guys, today we're going to continue our look at the elements of poetry. Today we're going to read a narrative poem, and the first thing we're going to do is read to understand and experience the poem, and then we'll read again to study the poem's structural elements. The first thing I want you to do is take a look at the illustration. Based on the illustration, what do you think the poem is going to be about? Based on this illustration, I think the poem is going to be about a large, lively dog, an excited dog, and his owner. And maybe they're going to go on a walk or do some other activities. Now I want you to read the poem independently and answer some questions about your understanding of the poem. Now we will read the poem together. Walking Big Willie by Clarice Bartonelli. While I am working hard at school to master math and this and that, at home Big Willie sleeps a lot and dreams of chasing neighbors' cats. Big Willie shakes himself awake when through the door I come at 3. A furry bullet knocks me down, a leash is dropped upon my knee. We're on the street, no time to waste, a million squirrels must be treed. Some cats must be tormented next. Will does this all at double speed. Around the block and up the street, he travels at the speed of sound, and I attached to him by leash and led around and round and round. I must confess I like the speed. It's fun to travel zip, zam, zoom. But sometimes when I'm out with Will, I wonder who is walking whom. Now that we've read the poem aloud, were you able to find any rhyming words? I'm going to give you an example of words that I found that rhymed. I found an example in that and cats, and I'm drawing a line between them because they are a pair of rhyming words that are connected. Can you find any other words that rhyme and are connected? Now we're going to explore how the elements in Walking Big Willie contribute to the poem's structure and meaning. So we're going to look at the way the poem looks and the way the poem sounds to determine some meaning. The pattern of strong or stressed and weak syllables in a verse is its meter. Each verse in this poem has 8 syllables, and every other syllable is strong. Study the meter of verse 1. Then underline the strong syllables in verse 2. So if I look at the strong syllables in verse 1, while I am working hard at school, every other syllable is a strong syllable. What do you think are the strong syllables in verse 2? Now I want you to fill in the chart below by adding information about the elements of poetry. For example, pattern of rhymes has an effect of repeated sounds that help shape the poem's stanzas. And I know that a description of rhyme is similar ending sounds. In different verses or lines. So which element creates a pattern of strong and weak beats in a verse? And then describe it. Which element creates a sense of sadness, excitement, or other feelings beyond the poet's words? Name that element and describe that element. The element the second effect is talking about that says creates a pattern of strong and weak beats in a verse I know is going to be meter, because meter is the pattern of strong and weak syllables. The last effect says creates a sense of sadness, excitement, or other feelings beyond the poet's words. This is the effect of rhythm. Rhythm is the pattern of repeated beats that makes a poem sound like music. And we know that music has a way of making us feel certain things. If a song has a fast rhythm and beat, it's more likely to make us feel happy or excited. If a song has a slow rhythm, we're probably going to feel more sad. So I want you to think about how the structural elements used in Walking Big Willie work together to create a feeling of speedy, exciting walks. You may want to reread the poem to figure out what elements of poetry the poet chose to use. How do you think the elements of poetry help shape the feeling and meaning of Walking Big Willie?